All aboard. I'm Callie Jack. This is How Not to Game with Callie Jack, and this is the Simutrans Pak128 game. You can get this on Steam. It's a free game on Steam. Pak128 is one of the DLCs. They're also free. They give you different styles of play. And we've looked at several of those. Some finished, some works in progress, some better works in progress than others. Unfortunately, the time periods I like to play is early game Steam through the early diesel era is the toughest one to find. So we're looking at our finances, and the efficiencies at Wells alone seems to be doing something. Hopefully it's this, and we can return to this and get rid of this downward trend we had. Start building an upward trend again. Looking at everything, Blackpool's our next city after Wells. And Truro, what was the biggest city that we didn't serve yet, but it was the biggest city when we started the game, has fallen to 5th place. And because it has no growth, it's about to be overtaken by Bradford. So, should we connect up Truro or continue with Blackpool? I say Blackpool. The reason? Simple. Blackpool has grown. So we're going to close out the lists. We'll take a look at finances again. But again, we need to go to our route list. And we need Blackpool. And there's only one vehicle set. One single vehicle. And he's losing money. So it's time to start expanding our capabilities in this community and see what we can do to make this community grow more and maybe become profitable. Because overall, 54 cents, but over time, he's lost 63 bucks. Let's take a peek at it. First off, we're going to need, we know, to add stations because this town has grown. Our station coverage is a good way to take a peek at that for how we're doing. Show that station coverage. And we're going to change our colors so that we can see that station color just a little bit better. I've generally found that red is a good color. Or not everybody can see the purple, I bet. Let's see. How about that blue? Probably tough for some, but the orange stands out for me. So that's what we're going to do for right now. And then we will do a secondary color like that to change our color scheme for the company for a little while. Three Forks needed this. So close that out. Now with that, we can see that our station coverage kind of ends right in here, and there's a couple of big gaps where the town has grown. So let's start putting service out in these areas. There we go. And with that taken care of, we're covering a better part of the community. There we go. These two won't get served right away. They're going to cost us money. But a stop only costs us, what, 30? 36 a month. Still pricey, but not as bad as it could be. So really, let's go ahead and just take out the Blackstone. Leave Lavender Lane. Nah, we'll take it out too. Don't need it. Efficiencies are what we're after. We got a good tourist attraction there. So, next up, vehicles. And I'm going to put a KS out on the line. KS33 versus the 45 because of the cost. We don't want to go hyper. The Praga is no longer available. It has indeed become obsolete. Hasn't it? Or has it? No, but it will be, middle of next year. So, we got about 9 months left in the Pragas. So time to start building those new vehicles. This guy is going to need something entirely different than what we're doing now. I think we can turn off station coverage now that we know that the coverage is good. And let's build our first little looper line. To serve this area right here and begin connecting in to our bus. And we're just going to call that the East Core Loop Bus because that's the part of the core of what will become the core of the city. Hopefully, growth will go both directions. And now it's time to look at our efficiencies from the station. So what have we got? Well, the Comet's already there. The Whippersnapper's already there. The Aberdeen Blackpool Stampede. Losing tons of money. So what can we do to the Stampede to change it? Well, first off, the 5%, maybe we need to raise that to a 10 and do a 10. Have it linger a little bit more. Get more passengers on board because this thing holds 307 passengers. It's overkill for what it's doing. Let's retire it. Let's see what electrics we have. The Pioneer Aladdin, unfortunately, only comes in that big setup. That makes it tougher. But if we do this, a crocodile with, what car can we put behind it? We can put one of these behind it. That made him $3 versus 1047. Yeah. Passenger count 64. That's about right for what we're running on that line. So let's set him up as the Stampede. And we'll wait or speed run this guy in so he disappears and then launch him. We're going to go ahead and launch the rolling Milkwagen, rolling L Milkwagen, because it needs to have another one on there. And then we have the Riverwoods Racer, another passenger train that isn't cheap. Or is it? At 98 cents. But he's got a chippy on him. And chippies have got a speed limit of 50 clicks an hour. So we're losing a lot of money just through the speed. This is a good answer for the ugly duck. $108 passenger matchup. We're going to cost more, but we'll be able to take and go faster and get more per passenger through that by going to an ugly duck. Let's do it. We're going to tell that guy to retire. And then we will build an ugly duck. Or we could go with a motor car. But I'm going to say the ugly duck. And for right now, just a single car. And that was the Riverwoods Racer. Okay. I think we've taken care of all of them. Other than the Ziggurat bus. Let's look at the Ziggurat bus. The Ziggurat bus, hey, he's doing pretty good. Let's take a look at his chart. Trips versus free cap. I'm going to kind of relocate the chart and spread him out. It is harder to see in this mode, so let's cheat. And we're going to do my favorite cheat for looking at a chart, which is to go to the Purple Knight large size. Oh, that just made it so much easier to see the lines on the chart. So we're still good wide berthing between them. Best we get their peak, 72 to 251. That's peak number trips there. About 100 separation. About 100 separation. Little under 100 separation. About 125. So yeah. And looking at last month, 56 versus 242. Yeah. It's time to look at a different bus here for the Ziggurat. What vehicle we got out there? We have a PAZ 672. Cost us 82 cents, top speed of 55. Maybe we need to speed him up. Good question. Can we speed him up? Well, a twin coach isn't an answer. That guy's not an answer. Tighten this down again so we can go side by side for a comparison list. And he's costing us 82 cents. So anything under 82, faster than 55. Not certain there is such a thing right now. Even the twin coach isn't going to take and pull it off. The Regal won't pull it off. So the PAZ is probably the best bus for him. Much as we'd like to replace it, until a new bus comes along, we don't have an option. And then we did say that we needed to look at the station and dairy cart because that's a Praga, and he's almost full. So let's go ahead and put a KS33 onto that Praga line for line 14. Yes, it's harder to read in this for the charts or for the lists. So we'll go back to good old Simutrans Classic. We've got him on there. Launch him and tell this guy to retire. Not going to bring him back in. It costs more money to take and bring him back in. So that's about all we can do in wells. But how did that affect our costs? Well, everything's still pretty much not making money, truck-wise. We have a couple of oilers we can upgrade, and those will get us better money. By doing that, that'll be next episode. We'll do the oiler upgrade. And we'll start looking at that dreaded list right there of the obsolete vehicles. But for now, let's take a peek at our finances. And how did it do? Well, we leveled. We're not going as deep. We're not going into the... We're mid-30s instead of high 30s and 40s. But we're still not progressing properly. Part of that is we got a new bus out there, a couple of new buses, who are both between Wells and Blackpool, who are going to take a while to start generating traffic. I'm Callie Jack. Have a better day and hopefully a better game of Simutrans than I've been having today.